I'm Pip Elwood-Hughes from Entertainment Focus. Great to meet you, David.
Meet you, Pip.
So firstly, thank you for bringing this franchise back to such a wonderful state. I mean, these films have been absolutely fantastic so far. Halloween Kills tonally is very different from Halloween. Tell me why you decided to go for the wider impact that Michael Myers has had on the community.
Selfishly, as a filmmaker, I've always taken pride in the fact that I jump genres and themes and filmmaking styles, and I'm always trying to learn and reinvent myself and try something new. And as much as I wanted our first film to honor and honor the legacy of Halloween and follow in John Carpenter's footsteps, if I was to do the same thing 3 times in a row, I would get bored as a filmmaker, and then the audience, I think, would feel that energy. So, as a film enthusiast, as a fan of Halloween, I thought, well, let's take that DNA and inject it with a little aggression. Let's expand the concept of fear, so it's not just 3 generations of strode women in primarily domestic situations, but how does fear as a concept permeate an entire community? So this became a study of the town. It became an injection of momentum and adrenaline and a study of fear as it is processed and responded to by the community of Haddonfield.
And this film also goes back to 1978 and it really expands and unpacks some things that we didn't know about what happened there. Why did you decide to add to that original mythology and original story?
We'd actually considered doing a prologue in our first outing that got everybody up to speed and showed what happened between Michael falling off of the balcony after being shot by Loomis 6 times and then his apprehension. For budget reasons and efficiency and time and so many things, we didn't end up doing it there, but I thought it was an opportunity to fill in the gaps of some of the story that we were missing. I also thought it would be fun for fans to revisit the Myers house and see the story that we are going to unfold of Officer Hawkins in this chapter. So we needed a little bit of information there to be able to examine his sense of responsibility and regret.
And how did you get the balance between putting your own twist on this franchise and also giving the fans plenty to look for? Because there's so many Easter eggs in this film.
Yeah, there's a lot of Easter eggs, and it is, you don't want a movie to lean on just fan service, but it, as a fan, I'm a geek and I want to dig into the opportunities I have of connecting with former cast members and people that have passed through this universe before me. And so it is just it's a joy to be able to think, well, we've got Charles Cyphers in retirement and Nancy Stevens, who hasn't acted in years, and the wonderful Kyle Richards, who's on a reality show, and these people who've taken different paths with their careers. But what if we get everybody back together? What if we examine the stories from the trauma that they were a part of in 1978 and see how that's affected them 40 years later, just as much as Laurie's character was an important part of our last chapter. Here, we're expanding that a little bit to be more of the community in its entirety.
And the film really, really explores the idea of mob justice, which is something that's definitely prevalent with social media and the way that people respond today. Was that inspired by the way society has moved?
I guess so. We wrote the movie about 3 years ago, filmed it 2 years ago, and have seen the world change dramatically culturally in the 2 years since we wrapped production on this. But I do feel like Danny McBride and Scott Teems, the other writers, and I are very sensitive to the world and the environment as tension and technology can start to consume us, and how we are communicating with people, and how the mindset can go from an individual idea to a collective consciousness. And so these are things that there are a million ways to celebrate and a million things to be afraid of as well. And that's what we're studying in this movie to a degree, is it's not just the good and evil of Michael versus Laurie, but it's the ambiguous intentions and objectives when people are trying to do right and end up doing wrong.
Okay, well, thank you. I know we're at the end of our time, David, but it's been fantastic to talk to you. Congratulations on the film, and I can't wait to see Halloween Ends.
Right on. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.